Hello, everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Wednesday, May 25th, 2022. A little wet out today as rain moved throughout the day and still going to rain into Friday. So kind of a wet pattern here, but hopefully that gives way to a very nice weekend. And it's only going to get warmer every day too. So we got something to look forward to outside of it raining. And we do need the rain. I mean, it's time for some rain. We haven't had a lot, so we'll take it before the weekend. Way, let's just hope it gets better before the weekend. And we got a lot to talk about here on Talking Fitchburg. We'll check in with our friends at Department of Trade and Consumer Protection. We'll be talking about the student loans. Laura here, or Lara, I can never say her name right. Lara from Department of Trade and Consumer Protection, talking how to keep you protected with your student loans. As things get confusing because there hasn't been where you had to make a payment, then you got to make a payment. There's all these scams about making it cheaper. Yeah, we'll break it all down for you coming up. Plus, we check in with Jeff Doslick at Fitchburg EMS on their fight to fight the overdoses. I don't know, do you call that one a epidemic? And also talking about a new partnership as well. So a lot to get to on the show. We're going all over the place today, and we'll like it. First, let's get to your headlines, and we start with the farmers market in full swing. The annual farmers market vouchers that Senior Center helps dish out is available starting in June. The Area Agency on Aging, AAA of Dane County, will distribute farmers market vouchers to older adults for use in purchasing fruit, vegetables, and herbs at farmers markets and roadside stands in Wisconsin during the growing season. That's June 1st through October 31st. Vouchers are distributed on a first-come, first-served basis to those age 60 plus who live in Dane County and have a gross income under $25,142 per year or $2,095 per month for one person household and $33,874 per year or $2,823 per month for two-person household. One set of vouchers per household, regardless of household size. Distribution of the farmers market vouchers will be done by mail. Individuals who received vouchers last year will automatically receive an application by mail for this year. And if you wish to apply to the program or need an update your mailing address, contact AAA dietitian Shannon. She'll be available for you 608-261-5678. Applications will be mailed during the week of May 15th. Once you receive and approve your application, vouchers will be mailed out on June 1st. Second Harvest Free Mobile Food Bank is back in the area. They'll be here tomorrow. All who need food are welcome. No ID needed. Have a drive-through or walk up. Workers will only ask about the number of people in your household. Items normally include 3 boxes of food, milk, and more. Questions, or you can call or text Laura at 608-444-1290. This will be at the Southdale Park. That's located at 200 Deer Valley Road in the town of Madison. They'll be there tomorrow, May 26th from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Virtual public hearing on Madison Metro Transit Network design is coming up. This virtual public meeting will be held at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, May 31st. The hearing is to discuss the proposed network redesign expected to go in effect in June of 2023. Certainly you can sign up for that. They will have interpreter, translator materials, and alternate formats for other accommodations or services. You can contact Metro Transit at 608-266-4904. At least 3 business days prior to the meeting. You can find all of this information I just talked about because Andrew will share the links. And of course, you can go to mymetrobus.com/redesign. My son's asking about this too, so that's what you're hearing in the background there. He's asking about it. Turning our attention to children and awareness campaign. It is National Missing Children's Day, and the State Patrol is sharing this information. And I think it's a great time to definitely talk about this. So it says National Missing Children's Day, which reminds parents to take time to teach your children about their safety. That's online, that's at home and away. Make online safety a priority. Complete background checks on caregivers and check references. Never leave your young child unattended in strollers and or in car seats. Whenever possible, don't dress children in clothing with their names on it. Teach your children their address and phone number and find resources on safety. You can go to the DOJ That's www.doj.state.wi.us for more information. And the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is another area that you can check on to make sure that you protect those kiddos. They are awesome, and we want to keep them safe. And of course, we'll share all the links for our headlines as we do each and every day when we post them up on social media. All right, we'll take a quick break. Coming up next, so we're going to protect you when it comes to your kiddos and those student loans. We'll break down, keep you safe on that next, right here on Talking Fitchburg.
Hey, boss. Okay.
I said I'm fine.
Put me to bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at? Underlay in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today for the Fitchburg EMS, it's Jeff Doslick. JD, welcome back to the, I don't even know why I've never called you JD, but darn it if I'm not going to do that from here on out. Jeff, how you doing today?
I am doing awesome. Thank you very much. How are you?
I am living the dream. Glad to have you back here on the show. We got a lot of stuff to get to today. We're going to start with fentanyl test strips and a new, I'm going to say a new protocol coming in here, but not even a protocol. It's just something that you're working in here when you're out on calls. Tell us about this fentanyl test strip.
Sure. So as part of the, we put into play the Leave a Dose program last year, where we go out on with patients that have overdosed either from a narcotic or any other overdose for that matter. And we have a kid in the ambulance that the crews, if things aren't really too chaotic, can leave with the patient if the patient decides not to go to the hospital, or even if they do, we leave it with the patient and or the family that they may be with at the time they have their medical emergency. And in that kit, it's some Narcan and some information on how to get assistance. Well, as part of that program, fentanyl test strips, which were recently decriminalized by the state of Wisconsin, have been released through medicine, through public health. And we thought that it would be really important as part of our Leave a Dose program that we'd also include fentanyl test strips. Essentially what they are is it looks like a little strip that, you might go to the doctor and provide a sample on, and they can test for certain things. Well, these test strips will test for fentanyl and 11 of the other fentanyl components, like carfentanil, in somebody's stash of drugs. So if they are about to use heroin or something else, they can take a small portion of the drug that they're about to use this fentanyl test strip to see if there's any fentanyl that has been mixed in with their drug. And the hope is that fentanyl and that component of drug use really has contributed to a large increase in the number of opiate polysubstance abuse deaths in Dane County through 2020. And I think, I feel that a part of our responsibility in EMS, especially here at Fitchburg, is that we can provide these fentanyl test strips. They're able to test their substances that they're using, proceed with much more caution as a result of that, or maybe even decide not to use what they have. And then with the Narcan kit, if for some reason something does happen, there's Narcan available in order to help save their life. The public health had put out their report a couple of days ago, and it was interesting to note that 33% of those that died of a polysubstance drug overdose, 33% of those were seen by EMS within a year of their death. And out of those 33%, 26% of those were seen by EMS within 30 days of their death. So I think we certainly have an opportunity here to save lives, you know, on the front end of catching them before maybe they do something that has fentanyl in it, or with the Narcan kit, obviously catching them if it does, and or they do have an opiate that's stepped on with fentanyl. So we're really, you know, we're really, if I could say, we're really excited about this, but I think it's an initiative that you'll see a lot more of throughout the community once this report is released. You know, widely, you'll see, I think, a lot of organizations that will be able to distribute these fentanyl test strips. And, you know, Madison, Sarah Johnson over at Public Health Madison, Dane County, has been really supportive of us in providing these test strips to us. And they'll be put on the ambulances within the next week or so. And hopefully we can, you know, the goal here is to save, even if it's just one life, then we've done our job. So.
Jeff, it's great information, and it's a very interesting program, and I'm sure it opens a lot of questions here, and certainly we got a lot to talk about today. Besides this, but the trend has been that the overdoses have been going up for years. It is happening in our backyard. Would that be a fair statement, that our service, Fitch-Rona, is responding to overdoses, and we're involved in this, you know, because a lot of people might say, well, this isn't really in our backyard, is it? This isn't really happening, is it?
Yeah, it's definitely happening in our backyard. And, you know, a lot of people will say, you know, well, it's an inner city problem. You know, it's really not. It is across the gamut of social economic status, educational status, and we really need to be prepared for it. And I hope that people will take an opportunity, and maybe we can get it on our website, is take an opportunity and look at the report that came out from public health on how prevalent this problem has been. And unfortunately, with the pandemic and all that goes along with that, the trend has increased significantly over the course of the last couple of years. And while the numbers are only through 2020 on this report, if 2021 is any indication, when those numbers are finalized, it's really pretty incredible on how much overdose deaths we have in Dane County. And across the country, it's the same way. I think we're probably a little bit better than some, but it does happen in Fitchburg and Verona and the town of Verona, and all of the areas of Dane County.
Yeah, it's right away in the report, and I'm looking at it as you were talking about, I was reviewing it, and it right out of the way, and the key takeaway, I mean, from 2000 to 2020, I mean, it is a straight up and not receding chart here of deaths by some type of overdose. So yeah. We'll follow back up with you on that, Jeff. Certainly appreciate you sharing it, and we'll see how it's going in the future. I
Sure.
Do quickly want to get to a new partnership that Fitch-Rona is started, and I feel like you guys are always doing something fun and awesome. And children's the Children's Health Alliance. Tell us about that partnership.
Yeah, so we're fortunate that Nicole Newton, one of our paramedics that's on our staff, is part of the Children's Health Alliance of Wisconsin, and we started to participate with them in children's and youth with special needs. It's a pilot program that's out there, and the goal is that if a child has a disorder such as on the autism spectrum, a behavioral health disorder, or other special needs that they might have, the caregiver is encouraged to fill out a form that's available, and that it's available on our website, so fitchronaems.com. If they fill out that form, they can give it to EMS, and it's kind of similar to, I would say it's kind of similar to an Alzheimer's form that we've used in the past, the File for Life form. Essentially, how can we communicate, especially with children with autism? How can we communicate with them appropriately? The medications they may be on, and some of the other medical history that we have. Dr. Kim with UW, the Health Alliance, Fitchburg, and I think it's important that our paramedics have an opportunity to really know the whole encompassing medical issues that some of these kids have. And this form, which is available on our website, you can download it, fill it out, keep it at home, give it to the school. They can present it to EMS, whether it's us or anybody else, and we'll have that information. So we're really proud to be part of that partnership as well.
Yeah, that's an awesome program. And yeah, check the website out at fitchronaems.com for that. Jeff, always a pleasure to catch up with you. There's always, you always
We have
bring us
so much.
I know it's we can talk for hours, but unfortunately, I don't think anybody wants to listen to us more than
Right.
more than they have to on some of this. But great information. Appreciate your time as always, sir. And we'll check in with you real soon.
All right, take care.
All right, Jeff Dosick, Fitchburg EMS, your deputy chief, said check out the website for more information on the stuff we talked about today. And of course, follow him on Facebook. Jeff's the Facebook guy, so follow him and
Twitter,
make sure that he knows you're out
Instagram.
there. Oh, he's the everybody, all above. All right, we'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
All right.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining today from the Department of Ag, Trade, Consumer Protection is Laura Sutherland. Welcome back to the show. How you doing?
I'm good, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Glad to have you back on here. And today we're going to be talking about student loan debt repayment scams and tools. And while it may sound a little dry, I would say that this is very important stuff because unfortunately, we're still reporting scams. We're still seeing things happen here to folks. And we want to make sure that you understand everything. And the rules have changed so much in the last couple of years with repayments. I think it's so important to talk about it. So set us up here. What are we talking about as far as the current status for loan repayment when it comes to student debt?
So yeah, I hear you. It sounds dry, but it's actually a really big deal. There's $1.7 trillion of student loan debt out there now. There's over 800,000 borrowers here in Wisconsin with $2.4 billion worth of student debt. So it's a real issue. And one of the things that we know about money, and when there's a lot of it and debt involved, and there are government programs that are kind of come in and try to help us with it, there are scammers galore also trying to take advantage of those two things, particularly in a situation like this where there's extensions and dates moving when you have to pay and how the programs are changing. So all of that kind of volatile information really allows scammers to come in and tell you misinformation, disinformation, and try to separate you from your money and steal your identity. So super important that you know how to identify those debts. The first thing, or those scams rather, but the first thing I want to say is student loans are going to be needed to be repaid come August 31st, 2022. So there's a student loan forbearance program that the feds put in place during COVID, and they have extended it. They've extended it 6 times now. They may extend it again, you never know, but for now, loans are due on September 1. And what that means is a lot of folks who have never paid their loans are going to have to start repaying their loans, because some of their loans may have come due in those last 2 years. Or there are folks that were paying their loans and haven't been paying their federal loans because of the forbearance, and they've gotten used to that, couple $100, $1,000 a month that they aren't paying to the federal government for their loan repayment. So it's a big deal that you understand that you need to start paying and how to repay and how to avoid those scams. So let's start with the scams. The scams tend to overpromise. There's those basic scams that overpromise. We can take what's really, really complicated and make it really simple for a very small fee. You pay us, and don't worry your pretty little head about it. And what ultimately happens is you're paying a third party for information that's out there for free that you don't need to pay for. And they could take your money, steal it, and not be paying down your loans. In some of these scams, they actually ask you for your student loan ID, your FSA account ID. And what they do is they go into that account with your ID, they change your address, they change your contact information, and all of the information from your student loan account goes to the scammer. You're paying the scammer and you're thinking you're paying down your loans, but in fact, you're paying the scammer and you're none the wiser because they've changed your account information and you're not getting your daily updates from your loan servicer. So there are 2 things that you should know about those 2 scams that I talked about. One is you never pay an upfront fee to get somebody to help you with your loans. That's illegal. They cannot take money from you before they help you. And all of that information is out there for free. And I'll tell you how to get it. The second thing is you never, ever, ever should share your ID. Your FSA ID is like your social security number. It's yours. It's only yours. It's affiliated with you. And it has a lot of really important information that's attached to it. So absolutely don't share it. So the other kind of scams that you often see is these government partner scams, that we have an inroad with the government and we can get you really good information that nobody else can get. Call us. Not true. Anytime you see these government seals or that they're affiliated with your loan servicer somehow and they're going to get you this, too good to be true repayment plan, red flag. And what I want to say is you just need to go to information that you trust, right? You need to go to places that these folks know what they're talking about. They're going to give me solid information. And I'm going to tell you what those places are. First of all, you can go to lookforwardwisconsin.gov. That's DFI's website. They have a lot of information on there, solid information about when you need to pay back your loans and how to pay back your loans. The other great thing we have here in Wisconsin is the Wisconsin Student Loan Help Hotline. And this is a hotline that is staffed by Ascendium, and it's in collaboration with the Wisconsin Coalition on Student Debt. And this is a hotline that you can call and get a student loan expert on the other end of the phone that will talk to you for free about the repayment plans, about how to pay back your loan, and you can get solid information that you can trust. And that number is 833-589-0750. So the Wisconsin Student Loan Help Hotline. Whew, too many words. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I encourage you to call that. The other thing that's really important and exciting for folks in Wisconsin is that the Wisconsin Department of Financial Institutions has partnered up with a company called Savvy. And Savvy is a company that provides a student loan repayment tool. It is not a debt settlement company that you pay and they pay down your loans. It's not a loan servicer, but it's a company that created a student loan repayment tool that allows you to navigate these really complex federal student loan repayment plans, the forgiveness plans, and helps you figure out how to lower your debt. And what's great about this is it's a for-profit company, but they have partnered with Department of Financial Institutions. So Wisconsin consumers, Wisconsin borrowers can sign up for free for a year. And that's really great because that will help you figure out which program you're supposed to be in and how to start paying back your loans safely and securely. Folks that are signing up for this have saved $156 a month on average, with a lifetime savings of over $28,000. So real relief that has been an outgrowth of this partnership with DFI and Savvy. So we really encourage you to look at that, and you can go to, like I said, DFI's website for sign up information about the Savvy tool. So that's what you need to know. And if you unfortunately think you've already fallen victim of a scam or a student loan scam, give us a call at our hotline at 1-800-422-7128. You can file a complaint at our website. You can send a complaint to our email at datcaphotline@wisconsin.gov. Or if you've seen one of these scams and you want to alert us to it, let us know. We are looking into these debt settlement companies. We're very aware of their presence and how they're ripping off Wisconsin consumers. And so information that we get from the public is really important in our investigations and our outreach efforts to prevent more fraud.
Wow. And here I said it could be dry, and you just said, nope, I am going to give you everything you ever needed to know, and I'm done. That is amazing. Great information. And I'm not going to ask you one follow-up question. I'm going to say thank you so much for the information. And for people who may have not heard the website to find more information out, where might they look?
They can go to our website at daccp.wi.gov, and all of this information will be there for them.
I'm a little upset because I had student loan and I paid it all back, and I'd have loved to save $28,000, but hey, the next person, if you could save some money, I think that's super important. Laura, thank you so very much for your help. Great information as usual, and we'll check in with you real soon.
Great. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Again, check out Department of Trade Consumer Protection's website for more information. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day.
I have no time for this.
So
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Well, welcome back into Talking Fitchburg, wrapping up the show for today. I want to thank Clara from Department of Trade Consumer Protection and Jeff Doshlik from Fitchburg EMS helping us out today on the show. We'll get both of these posted up again on our social media pages, which you can find. Andrew's so good at this. And it's Facebook, YouTube, and of course, streaming on all of the streaming platforms, at least the ones that we have. Have a good day.